I'm going to put this pen in my hand so that it looks like I write things, even though I've never written anything in my entire life. What's up, everybody? My name is Rox. I work on my startup every day live on Twitch, and today we're going to be going through the past few weeks in review, going over all the cool marketing strategies we got to implement, new sales tactics, UX changes that we've made, and talking about how everything went. So the Ambassador program was a way for us to get really quick UX feedback. We were worried that our product wasn't very usable. Honestly, no one had really tried to use it so far, so we went out and tried to actually invite users to the program and invite them to be interviewed by us to join the program. What that let us do is get through a lot of interviews with them. This is what the email looked like. I sent this email to a lot of our business's best customers. As a result, we got interviews with them where we could take them through the actual product. So what that actually looked like. So this is the product, and this is what they would see when they got here. Now, initially, we got a ton of different feedback on this site not being sufficient. We got that the points were actually unclear because each of these T's had different sizes. So we updated it to just say that you'll both earn 10 points per dollar spent on just about every item. We also got the feedback from a lot of people that the products were confusing and people didn't fully understand if referring a product meant that you could actually get credit for all the items purchased. So we shifted that and added this business button. Don't know what to pick? Do want to look around? Refer the entire business with this. And so this gave them an opportunity to just say, I don't know, buy anything. And this got really good responses. On top of that, we got a bunch of different comments on how we actually get the rewards through, what the point system looks like, and whether or not it's accurate. And so we made a ton of changes there. So big lessons there are, as soon as you humanly can, once you build your MVP, get somebody to try it. Even if you're just looking at a wireframe, get somebody to try it who actually wants to use the product and watch them fail at it. It's absolutely okay that they fail. The first version you're going to build is always going to be wrong. Every assumption you've made is going to be wrong. It's fine. Just get people to try it. Even if it's your friends, anyone that you know. And if you can't manage to get somebody to try it who's actually potentially your user, you're probably going to have a really tough time getting your product anywhere anyway, and it might just not be the right product for you to build. How did you watch them use it? So during the interviews, we would actually say, I want you to try and send me a referral with this program. And I want you to explain to me what you're trying to do and how it works kind of throughout the process. And so we literally got to watch on a Zoom call with their screen shared and them talking through it exactly what their thought process was and how everybody would try and use it and try to and fail to use it over and over again. And it was heartbreaking watching people put their email in the name box, think that their email was supposed to be their friend's email, thinking that all the points were wrong, thinking that they could only get points for one product, not knowing when they were going to get points. The amount of confusion was depressing in the best way possible. So a lot of really good info came out of it. So following up on this program, we started preparing for version 2 of the Ambassador program. Version 2 doesn't actually involve an interview. Now we're going to be using it more as a marketing strategy where we still kind of use this premise of the invite to a program to get people to want to actually use the program. So this is roughly the instructions that we give them on the second version. So they're going to actually just get a link with a similar invitation. They're going to get a similar invitation with a link to a page that says roughly this. Welcome to the program. You've been selected as part of an early access program of small number of ambassadors to help out the business name. How it works. Here's how our program works. This invitation expires at midnight tomorrow, basically. And then once you've signed up, continue. Any questions, ask us. And so the big keys here, and the reason that we expect this to work is the same reasons that the first one worked. With our old ambassador pitch, we used basically every good marketing strategy that you can have in one email, right? First off, make them feel special. Second, make it feel exclusive, right? Only 15 ambassadors. I sent this email 115 times, but that's all they got, right? Not only that, but make it seem even more exclusive by calling it an early access program. On top of that, give them incentive to do it. As part of this program, you'll get free months of the monthly Tea Club or other products. Which products? Whatever they want. They can ask. But leaving it a little bit up to chance just makes it particularly more interesting. And then finally, urgency. Urgency is a very big concept in marketing. We're looking to get started soon. If you're interested, set up some time with my teammate by the end of the day tomorrow. Guys, the speed at which I got responses to this email was unparalleled. Absolutely ridiculous. And a very important note, the title of every email said, respond by 3/20. Respond by 3/19. And then the actual title of the email talking about Ambassador Program Invitation. And this all together really helped out. Another good note at the end here was, if you're not interested, please let me know so I can reach out to someone else. I like to do this. I feel like adding something like this is very powerful because it really doubles down on what you're trying to say and lets you know kind of what your open response rate would be and gives you more of a sentiment of how many people were actually just not interested in this. So it's kind of like a better version of an open rate, if you will. Sometimes you know how many people opened, how many people responded. Now you have how many people opened, how many people rejected, and how many people accepted, which I find to be more helpful data. How many emails did you send? All in all, I believe we sent around, I believe over the course of about 3 or 4 days, we sent about 350 emails. Of those, we got probably a few dozen interviews. So not a ton, maybe a 10% response rate. But a 10% response rate on an email is actually kind of amazing. Most of these e-commerce brands are looking at maybe 1 to 3% response rate. So even getting that, and not only that click-through rate, but actually getting interviews scheduled is really great, which has really encouraged us to kind of use similar wording to this again. So I'll encourage you, if you're ever doing any kind of marketing, really take those like core, simple tenets to heart. Have urgency in there. Have exclusivity in there. Make them feel good. It's not that hard. Every sentence in here either clarifies an important detail or makes them want to respond to it, right? So definitely keep an eye on that. On top of that, a little bit more on a personal level, but very important, I got my first consulting gig, which I'm doing for a few hours on the side every week, helping some other people with marketing. Now, this doesn't really necessarily seem like something I would bring up about my startup because it is quite literally work I'm doing for another company. But there's an important reason I bring this up, in that a lot of people don't recognize money as a resource they have, money as a skill that they have. It's not just to say that I'm doing work for another company. The reason I'm doing that is because with the amount they're paying me, I can dump that money into ads. And ads are not the best marketing by any means. The best marketing is wherever your people are, whatever you can do. But sometimes you're going to want to do paid advertising. And in that scenario, you should take the time to really analyze, if you're someone who's like a really good software engineer, you could probably get a contracting gig, a small freelance gig, and get paid a pretty good amount of money. And if you can pull that off, you might even be able to pay small marketing consultancies, small marketing agencies to do some of this stuff for you. And the reason I say all this is because I think there's a really huge tendency of people to think you have to do everything as an entrepreneur. But sometimes all you have to do is use your time efficiently. And if your time's worth enough money, sometimes the most efficient way is to get that money and then use that money to achieve your goals. My goal for this month was to get 1,400 people through to our website, which seems like a lot when you think of it as a normal number, which seems like nothing when you think of really big websites, but we're just a startup, right? I made these blog posts. I did these ambassador emails. I tried to make Reddit hate us, and I launched a couple TikToks. But end of the day, I can make that happen with just ads. Granted, it might cost a couple $1,000s, but if you're an engineer making enough money, you can make a couple $1,000s in a week without too much trouble. And then you put that money right into ads. There you go. Now you've achieved your goal, and it took you only maybe 40, 60 hours as opposed to a full month's worth. So although this consulting gig seems unrelated to my startup, it is in fact another strategy that I'm using as effectively funding. Did that make me sound like a prick? Mm-hmm. I hope that didn't make me sound like a prick. I did say the phrase, you can make a couple thousand a week as an engineer, which I think is true, but might make me sound like a dick. What do you do as a consultant? Right now I'm doing a little bit of dev for them, and then I'm doing marketing stuff. So it's just going to be a lot of like helping them build out and implement plans for growth and stuff, and like getting them to helping them do like sponsored Twitch stuff. So the next thing we did was try to launch a viral TikTok, which, as you can imagine, is the worst idea ever. Anytime that you start a marketing strategy with the word viral, it's bad. And you know going in that it's bad, but you just believe in yourself so much. You're like, I know I can do this. I know, and you can't. It's just not going to work. It's never going to work. But it was worth a try. So I literally did this in Windows Video Editor here, which is about as wonderful as you can imagine. I captioned the whole thing. I said, I'm going to teach you how to be an influencer. And I posted it after hours of work for no good reason, with an entire how to use the product in here. And after all that, we ended up with, drumroll, 653 views. The meme of me making a joke about an elephant last week got 2,000 views.
Yeah, boy.
So, don't try and go viral. It's just not going to happen. It's just never going to happen. It's unfortunate. It's just true. I'm sorry to say it. I think I might repost this. If I were to go back and redo this, my tips would have been make it one-off very fast, because if you commit less time to it, you'll be way less upset about it going poorly. I put hours into this for no good reason, because I really thought it had to be this good. But it super didn't. It super didn't. And I'm realizing a lot. A really big lesson that I've been learning recently is don't over-optimize from the start. 90% of the time, you will say, this needs to be this good, and I'll try and make it that good quickly. The right thing to say is, how quickly can I make this okay? And just launch okay things, because okay things will get you so much further. All right, this next one is by far my favorite idea that we've had, the Reddit hatred campaign, where we try and get Reddit to hate us under the premise. We try and get Reddit to hate us under the premise of all PR is good PR. So we took 2 stabs at this, 2 very brief stabs, and we'll take a look now. There it is. In order to do this, I got a throwaway Reddit account and made a couple posts on 2 different subreddits. The first one was Choosing Beggars, a subreddit where people post about people who feel very entitled to something. And so I wrote, CB demands a gift, CB is Choosing Beggar, demands a gift, sends a referral link to profit off of gift purchase. Now, I made this entire post up. None of this is real. I inspected and edited CSS on the website. This is actually one of our links, and this is actually a real thing. And so this one was kind of just like a hail corporate type moment, where I basically just tried to shove as much as I could into this, and it's literally a 140 upvoted post that just has my company logo in big bright letters right in the middle, and 19 comments. Now, I won't lie to you, a lot of the benefit of this came from Twitch. Me having a Twitch audience makes a lot of these things a little bit easier for me, because I'm able to get people to give me upvotes early on. But if you have a giant crew of friends or other like entrepreneurial communities, you might be able to pull off something similar, at least to start. I do not have 140 consecutive viewers on Twitch, so a lot of this was organic. And a lot of these comments were organic. But even a few that maybe weren't necessarily organic got more upvotes than I had cheat codes for, if you could say. So that's the first post. The next post was on r/unpopular opinion, which, as the name tells you, is somewhere where you post unpopular opinions. And I tried to take the stance of hating referral programs and every company that does them. Here we have the post. So I tried to be very angry and use some very aggressive language. I apologize.
Watch your profanity.
And come off as somebody who just happened to link everything. And so I linked bad MLM programs and compared referral programs to them. And I said Amway and LuLaRoe. I said I don't care if it's Grubhub or Robinhood. And then I just compared the absolute worst version of this is products like Delight or Clamio, one of our competitors. Just comparing us, totally equivalent. There may be a little bit of a bigger company, but point is, all of the names are in there. And it's just me being very upset at people. And again, probably 15 of these, 20 of these are fake. But the rest were real. So we did get a little bit of distance, but honestly, I was pretty disappointed in this one. Only 49 upvotes. But the conversation happened, right? People did talk. Now, granted, a bunch of these long ones were definitely just my viewers trying to make it appear like there was a whole conversation going. But the fun part is, it's a little hard to tell what parts were faked and what weren't, which is a very good sign. It means that this is a strategy that could eventually hold water. I think that this is a strategy that's actually particularly interesting because it's not that hard to do. It doesn't take that long to make these posts. And honestly, just like with the TikTok, you can probably do this pretty quickly. And I'm going to continue doing this in the near future and take a few more stabs at this one. Now, this isn't for everybody, but if you're really just looking for any amount of website traffic, this might be what you're looking for. Just for quick updates, that is everything that pretty much I did this past couple weeks. What my team did was upgraded referrals so that they were multiple use. That was some very big feedback we got from the ambassador program. We originally had it where referral links were only usable once. Now they are usable infinite times. On top of that, my teammate who does sales closed out a couple new sales. He started trying out LinkedIn Sales Navigator as opposed to just the hundreds and hundreds of cold emails we've been sending, on top of DMing people at online talks who might have an e-commerce store that we could chat with. That's pretty much everything, guys. That's the Delight company update devlog for you guys. If you like this at all, please leave a like, leave a comment, anything like that. It helps me out immensely. I'm still pretty new at all this YouTube stuff and I don't really know what I'm doing. So tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. If you want to see bigger videos, kind of explaining more of where I came up with the Reddit hatred campaign, what my research process is, how the ambassador program worked, and how we're evolving it, anything that I said that interested you or any other topics you want to hear about, please let me know below. And if you want to come see this live, if you want to come ask me questions, please feel free to come by Twitch. You can just type rox.works, rox.works, and that'll direct you right to my Twitch page, or twitch.tv/rockstar74, spelled the same as the channel, ROXKSTAR74. God, that's hard to spell. Either way, thank you guys for coming by. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.